Alrighty-o, so, yeah. No, you're all right, all good. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Can you keep going?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Rightio. So, let me get St George in my sheets. Alright, so is Jan on the bench? Jan is on the bench. Beautiful. And testing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 from Penshurst Park. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Not too far away from kickoff. About 9 minutes away, or 8 minutes away in fact. 8 minutes away from kickoff at Penshurst. What was that? Why is that?
Yeah. I believe you, man. I don't have any pieces, no. No, I believe you. I believe you. And that's the next time.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There it is, perfect.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think I had it on plus 48. I thought when you said earlier that you needed it on. Okay, sorry. We're all good. Thanks, boss. Sorry about that.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Penshurst Park is the venue. Match week 7 of the NPL New South Wales men's as St George City take on the Wollongong Wolves in what is a crucial game for both sides. Last week for St George, it was a win here at home against SD Raiders 4-3 in what was a crazy game. They came from behind to win the contest, City, while Wollongong had a draw last week against Spirit in what has been an up-and-down year for the Wolves. 2 wins from their first 6 games. And for St George City, they're also in the same boat, 2 wins from 6 games this season. So this, on paper, is one of those games where you almost can say it. I know it's early in the season. It's a must-win if both sides want to be playing in finals football in 2026. Nicholas Kutniak with you. St George City on the ladder. They sit in 9th and Wollongong in 10th. 1 point is the difference, meaning it's a draw. That St George have had 2 this season and the Wolves have just had the 1, which I mentioned was last week. Lineups for both sides. The visitors, Wollongong, it's Daniel Solski, the goalkeeper, number 1. 5 is Bunry Katazumi. In 7, it's Felipe De Agostini. Sebastian Duarte in 8. Ryan Lowe in 9. And I'll say it already, I've already been thinking Rob Lowe in my head. So if I call him Rob at some stage, that's because I'm thinking about West Wing. Flynn Madden is in 10. Sebastian Hernandez 11. Tate Russell 13. Kazuya Yamamura in 18. Liam Ball 21. And Alex Mashavecchio in 25. Starting 11 for the Wolves. For St George City, the goalkeeper Jack Kinney the 1. Matthew Warby 2. Ben Berry 3. Solomon John Monahan Vaika in 4. Oscar Golecton is in 7. In 8, it's Stefano Rosello. In 10, it's Paolo Mitri. Jon Pedersen in 16. Mason Tatafu in 17. Hiroto Domoto in 23. And Matthew Jackson 27. The starting lineups for both sides. So not too far away from kickoff. Referee is in Mr. Bahimi. And we are underway. St George City defending right of screen in the first half. And as I said, this is a contest that both sides know how important the 3 points are. Especially for the Wollongong Wolves. What has been spoken about in the last week and a half. Luke Wilkshire in local media and then became national press in the football fraternity about the situation the Wolves are in at the moment in regards to having no venue to train. They've been nomads. Something that hopefully does get resolved for a team in the Australian Championship this year. Ball trying to get to it, couldn't initially. Won by Solomon John Monahan Vayaka. So City just working it back to Jack Kinney. Just noticed Ben Berry on that right side. Former Blacktown City player. Now, St George City have to stop this Wollongong side. Hernandez was taken off the ball. Pedersen. Can't wait to see a lot more of him today. This season he's had 6 games for 1 goal. As I said, first time I get to see him in the flesh today. I think he's going to have a good contest. There's now Liam Ball for Wollongong. Eventually drops back to Manly, former Manly player Rossello. Now it's Ryan Lowe. Tate Russell. Trying to work it back inside. Mountain was taken down. St George had possession here. Domoto initially taken off the ball. Ball does go out for a goal kick. Gutekin. Can't wait to see him today, Oscar Gutekin. As now Rossello works it up to halfway. Headed down initially by Tatafu. Should say it was actually Duarte. I think I was saying Rossello obviously playing for Wollongong, for St George City rather. Tuarte on that left side. I've got Vasillo stuck in my head. Now Katazumi works it to his left. Nende's back. Ball goes out for a goal for a throw-in. St George have possession. Vasillo taking off the ball. Now it's played across, initially for Marshavecchio. Ball goes up towards halfway. Yamamura. The ball will eventually go back to the goalkeeper. And Daniel Solski. As now Kanazumi worked it to his left. Comes back for low. Now it's worked forward again by Solski up to halfway. Headed initially by Ben Berry. Berry again has to work it back. Kenny has it. Boots it up to halfway. Ball goes out for a throw. On that far side of the field. So it will be Sebastian Duarte to take the throw. Ball comes back to Matt Jackson. And now Tatafu working on to his right. And Berry up. Now Gotekin back. Berry looking for Monahan Vaker. In fact, he goes back to his keeper, Kenny. Kenny going low. Played back by Pedersen. Berry again trying to work it forward. It's been won by Wollongong. Played forward by Russell. Tatafu. Working on to Jackson. Jackson back to Tatafu. Monahan Vaika. Jackson is on a run. Played out by Tate Russell. Throw in on this near side. Jackson in. Tries to take a shot, Pedersen. The flex off. Now Wollongong. Had possession. Marshavecchio. Tate Russell gave it straight to Mitri, and Paolo Mitri will look to cut back inside. Mitri works it back in. Oh, I tell you what. Pedersen already got himself in a decent spot. Does touch off Wollongong. It will be a corner on this near side. All worked in. And the referee here has called the indiscretion straight away. St George were hoping that was going to be the opening goal of the game. But on the mark saying no. Foul going the way of Wollongong Wolves. Blew his whistle almost straight away for what he saw out of all that. It's now St George going forward here. Marcelo able to give it on. Now Monahan Vayaka forward. Things at the Jackson. Jackson. Mashavecchio on him. Jackson across. Mitri. Palamitri. And Rossello tried to work it back inside. Couldn't. Now he works on Dimitri. Touched by Pedersen. Eventually, the work by both Katazumi and Solski to control things at the back. So early stages. It is 0-0 between St George City and Wollongong. Now it's worked forward by Lowe. The ball will go back to Tatafu. Working it back to Kenny. Kenny now working it to his right. Berry trying to use the support of Warby. Ball went out. Will be a throw for Wollongong. Monahan Vayaka on halfway. Ball played back by D'Amato. Eventually Jackson's got it. Now Palamitri. Yamamura has it on halfway. Doesn't have the space on this occasion. Gets the foul. So ball played back by Madden. And then worked deep by Lowe. Goes out. Work here by Madden. Already trying to get themselves in decent position here. Wollongong. And Mamora just couldn't quite as Kenny works it up to halfway. Berry. Fernandez, good ball. And now it's square back in. Great defence by City. But I'll tell you what, D'Agostini getting himself in a lovely position to work it inland. It's headed up by Berry. Mashavecchio nearly played Harry Carey. Touches off City last through Matthew Jackson. Throw taken by Tate Russell. Yamamura can control. Jackson with the header initially. So now it's played back by Tatafu. Now Kenny. Berry. Ball goes out. No control on that occasion by Matthew Warby. Duarte to take the throw. Marcelo wins it initially. Duarte gives away the foul. So, around the grounds, full time, SD Raiders 3, Manly 1, Spirits 0, Rockdale 2, And that's full time. And Apia 1, Sutherland 1. And that's 87 minutes in. And half time, St George FC 1, Marconi 0. Yet to concede a goal yet. St George FC. There's now Monahan Vayaka looking to work it to his right. It's worked in, but eventually stopped off by Solski. Tekken couldn't do much initially. He was trying his best. Last night, University of New South Wales won their first game of the year, and also in the NPL Men's New South Wales top flight. 2-0 over Sydney FC. You'll watch the full match or the highlights via Football New South Wales on YouTube. Tomorrow, Sydney United and Blacktown City is your standalone Sunday fixture in the NPL Men's. Pedersen played it down. Challenge made. Now it's the Mortal who works it on to Jackson. Jackson in. Well, great effort again by Wollongong. Kamazurumi, we know what he can produce. As now it's flicked back by Tate Russell. Turned over and Jackson has it on the counter. The Mortal in. Pedersen's touch initially. Solski large in that situation. Throw taken. It's played back from Berry. Kenny. Monahan Vayaka. Berry. Down the left side, Jackson. Pomoto in. First time effort, doesn't work. A good chance by Gotekin. As now it's a chance for Wollongong to set something up at the back. Played on. Now it'll be Ryan Lowe. Now a chance, Tekken trying to roll it forward. Shut down, it's Madden. Now D'Agostini just gave it straight to Warby. Ball goes out for a throw for Wollongong. Kenny. Berry. Mahan Vayaka found support and eventually down this right side, Warby goes. Combines again with Rossello, Rossello was right the first time. Now I'm double guessing myself. This ball rolled back to Berry. That'll be taken by Duarte. Now, can I remember that? Getting them confused in my head which side they play for now. I don't know why. Anyway, the Mortal on the Jackson. Jackson over halfway. Jackson back inside. Palamitri. Monahan Vayaka. And now to Tafel on halfway. Tafel works it on to his right. Palamitri. Now it's turned over. Wollongong on the attack. Duarte did well to win the ball initially. Foul called on the challenge on D'Agostini. You can hear the Wolves supporters in the background. Set piece. Saved by Kenny. Again, wasn't the best set piece, really. I think they were trying to hope it was going to go over the top of him, but wasn't. As the Moto works it on to Jackson. And Jackson has got support here. Could have used Hiracello, but decided to go towards Gotekin. And his shot does deflect off Wollongong. And it will be a corner on that far side of the venue. Be leading 2-1, by the way, against Sutherland. Close to full time as that corner doesn't work for St George City. Matt Jackson. Disappointing as the ball goes up the halfway. Now, D'Agostini was looking for that foul. Was called. The spun 360. Kanazumi. Tate Russell. Ryan Lowe. Kanazumi. Now it's Daniel Solski. Up to halfway. Tate Russell heads it. Yamamura is offside. Linesman was hoping, well, I should say, they were hoping the linesman was going to go the other way. Not the case. Kenny works it deep. So now St George trying to set something up. Ball going back to Berry. And now Kenny. And Jackson the target. Drops short of him. Russell's able to hit it down. Going straight to Mitri. Palamitri. And now it comes back to Tatafel. Monahan Vayaka. Solomon John again will work it. Shavecchio can control. Mitri neither. Madden was taken off the ball. Marcelo wins it and works it to Jackson on the left. Jackson has a go himself. Save made by Solski. Second effort again. Solski in position. Marcelo had a chance. That went begging as Jackson worked it back. Pomoto. Now Monahan Vayaka. Monahan Vayaka. And played away. Kanazumi getting himself in a lovely position to defend that out. Now City with the throw. We'll probably go into the 18-yard box. That is the plan. Over the top of Pedersen, the shot. The goal taken goes wide of the mark. So full time, 2-1 Apia defeated Sutherland. And St George FC 1, Marconi 0. That's after 49 minutes, that game. Ball works it on. Marshavecchio on the left. Works it in. Over the top of Hernandez. Hernandez back. Russell. D'Amoto will control it. Monahan Vayaka. Berry. Monahan Vayaka. A deep ball. Pedersen works it in. Marcelo straight to a Wolf. Now ball works it forward. Touched back initially by Yamamura, and now it's an opportunity again for Wollongong. Matt Jackson against Wollongong. St George City on the attack. There's now Matt Jackson trying to work it in. Touched off Tate Russell. And it will be a corner. Of course, and I say this for myself as well, Wollongong wearing the white, the away strip, the red strip is St George City. And when we get to Macedonia Park for the next time these two teams play, reverse the colours. Reverse the colours, of course. Home strip is red for Wollongong, and white will be the away strip for City. Oh, the fun and games. D'Amoto takes this set piece, but it was again stopped. Solski, a very good keeper. Madden to his left. And now Wollongong looking for something again. That was probably a heavy ball by Marshavecchio. I should note the bench, and you're probably wondering where is Lachlan Scott. He's on the bench. Max Canal is the sub-goalkeeper. Jude Christie alongside Lucas Chojachevsky. Marcus Beattie, Scott, as I mentioned, Dimitor and King. As now the ball is worked over halfway. So Tate Russell throws. Wollongong, can they control something out of this? D'Agostini couldn't control it. D'Agostini, of course, came through the American college system. As now D'Amoto worked it on. Karazumi stopped it. Cleared away by Ball. Now Jackson. And the ball comes back to Tatafu. And now it's Berry. Now it's a chance. Monahan Vayaka the head of the way. Clearance goes up to halfway, over halfway in fact. Tate Russell played it down. Ryan Lowe worked it on. Karazumi to his left. So the Wolves haven't really been able to strike the blow that they would love early in this piece. Marshavecchio working it sideways, but Hernandez was right next to him with that pass, and I think if Hernandez was more centre, would have worked. But that 28 minutes, no score. A fabulous evening for football. It has been a weird old day in Sydney town. We had storms in some parts. Other parts it's not quite happened. D'Agostini can control that. I was mentioning before about D'Agostini. He spent time in Syracuse University in America. Played at Rochdale Rovers as well. From Brazil originally. '26 in May he'll be. D'Amato. Mendes plays it out. Monahan Vayaka trying to find D'Amato. Headed out by Tate Russell. Tate Russell, former Western United player. We all know the situation. Ended up playing in the Australian Championship last year for the Wolves. As now Rossello fleets off Solski. Pedersen could control. Neither could Palamitri. And the ball comes back for Ben Berry. Now it's Wollongong on the attack. Hernandez trying to beat Jackson. Jackson took him down. Ball does flick off Jackson, and it will be a corner. I thought initially, Kenny's trying to say it's not the case. He's taking the ball with him. Referee set up for a corner. Kenny, he's just taking the ball away going, no. He wants to hold the ball. He's still adamant it's a goal kick. I tell you one thing there. I'm actually surprised the referee didn't go, hey, mate, here's a card. That would have quickly changed Kenny's thoughts. It's always a clear corner. So Madden takes this. Cleared away. So it's going to be a throw in for Wollongong. I just think that's one thing you just got to think about. In that situation, if you are a keeper, yeah, you can have a different point of view to the referee, but at the end of the day, the referee is the law on the field. Can't always disagree with the referee. Pedersen was taken down by Ryan Lowe. And now he'll be given a card here, Ryan Lowe, and deserved. And I think now you'll start to see the referee going, no, you've got to listen to me. And too right at that. Can't afford to do little things like that. Ryan Lowe, of course, and MacArthur Ram, a Spartan and Wolf as a junior. I get to see him operate in first grade. So Tatafu trying to square himself in position. Solski, no pressure, and nearly made a million out of that for Mahakawa, Manly and Sydney FC player. Spent time in Mabella as well. Also in that Sydney FC system. Australian Championship last year. Wolves, a weird old campaign, to say the least. Some good results, some bad results. They nearly were able to pull off a miracle in a game that they needed to get how many goals against Marconi and failed by one. It's one of the craziest games in the championship at Collegiate Stadium. As now, Monahan Vayaka working it across. Well, he couldn't take the shot initially. Rossello is now Mitri trying to work it into the mixer. Bounces back. Mitri now has another chance. Mitri low to the right and hits the tyre sign. I know it's an old expression, but I was about to say the tyre iron. The old tyre iron, but that's the tyre sign. So, if you just joined us, hasn't been much of chances as such. There's been some half-hearted ones. I don't think there's been one of real consequence. That may well change during this game. So now Wollongong. Tate Russell's got it. Russell to the far post. Nobody's there. Can he just let that bounce out? Ball. Back to Solski. Now Duarte. Now comes back to the left side. Tafu has to work it back to Kenny. 1-0 between St George FC and Marconi. Yet to concede a goal, St George FC. About 6.5 games into the season. And it's a massive stat if that's going to hold on, especially against Marconi. As now Hernandez throws it in. Madden. Good work by D'Agostino to go back to Madden. Madden now back to Russell on the right. Russell into the mixer, head of the way. And now it's Wollongong. They have to defend. Tate Russell nearly won it. He did win it. And then a ball by ball. No control by D'Agostino. So it's Wollongong again from the back. Kanazumi. Ball, D'Agostini. And now a ball by Duarte initially. Didn't quite work. As now Solski stops it. Ryan Lowe back. Kanazumi found Duarte. Duarte back to Kanazumi. Ryan Lowe works it over halfway. Keeper Kenny gets to it. Now, Monahan Vayaka working it on. Patafu back to Monahan Vayaka. Former Ranger. Who works it upstream. Palamitri. And it was a decent ball by Warby, but nobody really in the centre. Solski was able to stop it. But they'll set up once again, Warby. Warby. Now, I think there was a deflection of Wollongong, I thought, but last touch by City. Nilo. We've had nearly 40 minutes of play. Demoto, nice run. Shot saved by Solski. So now on the attack, Wollongong. Hernandez in the middle. Then the ball's flicked. Again, wasn't the pass they were looking for. D'Agostini will be a key component here as Hernandez has a go himself. It's parried over the bar by Kenny. And now we'll be concerned about Matt Jackson on the ground. So Matt Jackson will get some treatment. Having a drink of water here, Jackson, before this corner is to be had. I'd be right in saying he'll be off and on. Yep, the old off and on. That does mean they'll be down a man here for this corner. And Wollongong can offer something massive here. The man advantage. Head of the way by City. Now Marchavecchio comes back. Doesn't quite work out of all that. And then there's back inside. Well, again, D'Agostini gets himself in the spot. But Bernarda's out. And the score remains 0-0. Actually, in fact, I don't think it actually touched off D'Agostini. He was there in the middle of it. Just having another look here. It actually goes off ball out of all of that. D'Agostini was ahead of him in that situation. There's Russell. Over halfway. D'Agostini. And now it's a chance for Tate Russell. The wrong side of the netting again. So score here is 0-0. Kenny. Works it over halfway. Pedersen couldn't control. Madden worked it back. Put it forward by Ryan Lowe. Now Kenny over halfway. Pedersen was on a run. He'll probably make a case that it was balked a little bit. Ball comes back to Daniel Solski. So still 0-0. Now another opportunity. Oh, great effort by Ball. It bounces off the post. They've got a deflection from Kenny too, as now Hernandez can't get to it. Now it's Russell's. Russell on the left foot deviates off Demotor. And again, it's alive. Wollongong with Ball again, trying to work it forward. Touches off City. And it will be a corner. So Flynn Madden to take this. An opportunity for Wollongong. Madden headed away by Monahan Vayaka. The referee blew the whistle. So we are in injury time. I didn't see the board. And I don't know if the board was actually shown. We are in injury time. There's now Kenny. Boots it over halfway. Half-time. So half-time 0-0 between St George City and Wollongong. A game that really hasn't had so much to talk about. There was a couple of chances, but really not much to really speak of. Around the grounds, full-time Spirit 0, Rockdale 2, Apia 2, Sutherland 1, SD 3, Manly 1, and 73 gone. St George FC 1, Marconi 0. So that's the situation in those games. And while we have got a moment, let me trying to tell you what happened between Sydney Olympic and the Wanderers. As they played earlier today, I know they were delayed half an hour due to the lightning at Belmore. It was 2-0, I think, at one point. Wanderers were leading. It ended up being 4-0. So 4-0. Wanderers defeated Sydney Olympic at Belmore. Half-time here at Penshurst Park. Wollongong 0, St George City 0. Back at Penshurst Park, it is 0-0 between Wollongong and St George City. I should note, St George FC 1, Marconi 2. So they've let go their first 2 goals of the 26th season. A very interesting situation there. But this one is a game that is crying for a goal. Is it going to happen is the question. Both sides haven't really been strong with their chances. You probably would say St George the better of the two chance-wise. But the second half is underway. Wollongong on the attack. D'Agostini worked it on to Marshavecchio. Goes past ball. And now DeMorto has possession. DeMorto taken down the challenge. By ball, but play continues. Menendez working it across. Marshavecchio. Couldn't pull the trigger on both occasions as D'Agostini probably not the right choice on that situation. Now Wollongong on the attack. Yamamura couldn't do much with it. Manahan Vayaka losing possession. D'Agostini spinning around. One by Palamitri. Kotekin loses it. So Wollongong on the attack. Now Duarte back inside. Touched by Marshavecchio. Duarte. Marshavecchio. Couldn't do much with it. D'Agostini. Now Kenny. Looking to Hoik. Well, it's outside of his box now. He has to deliver it deep. He does so. But again, it's Wollongong with possession on the right. Hernandez works it in. Kenny there. Kenny. What's he going to offer up here? Decides to bowl it over. To Tafu. Jackson. Solski goes back to Ryan Lowe. So now Wollongong on the attack. Manahan Vayaka for City. Marcelo's pass and Peterson taken down. He's still on the ground here, Peterson. So on the attack again, D'Agostini. Played away by Warby. Duarte couldn't do much. D'Agostini has possession once more. Ball, and the foul will go the way of City, to the chagrin of the Wollongong supporters. So 0-0 here. And around the grounds, full-time scores in the NPL Men New South Wales. SD, Raiders 3, Manly 1, Spirit 0, Rockdale 2, Apia 2, Sutherland 1, Olympic 0, Wanderers 4. And live between St George FC and Marconi, 2-1 Marconi. So about to lose their first game of the year, St George FC, after a strong start. Last night, University of New South Wales 2, Sydney FC 0. It was on a run, Hernandez, but the ball goes out. So what can they offer up attackably City in the next couple of minutes? It's going to be the big question. As I mentioned before, both sides looking for a win today. Warby's pass didn't quite work. Kanazumi working it to halfway. Now this is in. Ben Berry working it back. Kenny's got it. Goes back to Berry. And now he was on a run initially here in Warby. Nobody can really do much with the ball at the moment. As now ball has it. Hernandez. The ball goes back to keeper Kenny. So score at full time. Marconi 2, St George FC 1. There's now Domoto working across the face. Goltekin back. Warby, Berry. Palamitri trying to find Goltekin, who's got possession after a ricochet off Wollongong. Warby on the right. Warby inside, header by Bunri Katazumi, who is the header magician of Wollongong defensively and attackively. We've seen some great goals by him attackively with his head over the years, and a very talented player. City, though, want to get this goal to make it 1-0 in their favour. On the Norm O'Neill side of the ground. Header was over the bar. They're leaping high, that's the key thing to know. Trying to get themselves in position. Love to see Ben Berry get one. Berry this season, yet to score. 6th start of the season. And one game as a non-playing sub. Talik Elshan is on the bench today for City. Franklin Yarn, the sub-goalkeeper. Jesse Foti, Roman Kalina, John Stamos, and Hugo McAteer. Imagine Imagine John Stamos coming onto the field and he's battling Ryan Lowe, and I call him Rob Lowe, the battle of the actors. Anyway, Wollongong in their own defensive third. It's worked over halfway by Solski, or just near halfway. D'Agostini's on the ground. So Wollongong, they are fighting to get the opening goal. Really, I just don't think neither side have offered as much as they probably could or should, considering where both sides are at the moment. Daniel Solski. So Daniel Solski is going to pick up the ball. Look to roll it forward. Now he's going to roll it to himself. Now, Duarte works it up. Hernandez, well, he tried to win possession. Kenny stifles it down. Now it's an opportunity once more. Pedersen worked it on. The Morto tried to utilise Goltekin, doesn't work. Ball works it on. No control by D'Agostini. Foul goes the way of St George City. Working the 57th minute of this game. Talik Elshan, as I said, off the field. Wonder when he'll be called on. Playing for the bench today. Monahan Vayaka, can see him calling for it. They won't utilise him initially. Eventually Berry does. Monahan Vayaka will go back to Berry. Warby works it on. Solski is in his box, but he lets it bounce out. It will be a goal kick. One 0 by the way in the Asian Cup final in the women's. Japan lead Australia, so Australia down in that. We knew it was going to be a tough task against the Japanese. They were great a couple of days ago against Korea. You just feel that Australia are going to be runners-up in the tournament, but it has been a good campaign. Plenty of good moments from the Asian Cup this year. I should note as well, a lot of great social media posts and all that from team that actually have been involved with us of Football New South Wales and still involved. Maeve Sparrow has been doing a great job during the World Cup. Her involvement, a couple of the photographers as well that have been involved in Football New South Wales. Georgie Lewis won. And Alice as well. As now the ball goes to the right side. It's cleared away. Banri Katazumi has been very impactful defensively today. D'Agostini is being called off, and Lachlan Scott is being called on. A big moment to bring on Lachlan Scott. I think this is a big move for Wollongong. There's one man that you want to come off the bench and score a goal. Is Lachlan Scott, the former Wanderer. 10 years ago, scored a goal in the A-League at Campbelltown. Remember one day, it was a great goal too. Throw taken by Warby. And now Monahan Vayaka worked it forward. Now he's got to spin around here. Goltekin does. Wide ball too by Rossello. D'Amato back. And they're looking to set up. Palamitri again worked it to his left. Can see D'Amato was calling for it. They didn't go with him. Mitri's got it. Mitri had to work on the outside of his defender, but the ball goes out for a goal kick. Well, I'll tell you what, we are close to seeing a opening goal here. But is it going to be City or is it going to be Wollongong? Scott did get a touch on that, Madden. And eventually a touch by Duarte to Hernandez. Hernandez taken down by Warby. Foul is called about 4 yards in from this grandstand side. The grandstand side. So Wollongong, an opportunity to set this one up. It will be taken by Sebastian Duarte. He's got Hernandez to his left. He's got Madden to his right. He's got a stack of players forward as well. Yamamura run player. Scott another. Goes wide. Kanazumi will get possession here. Actually, it's gone past him. Tatafu worked it forward. But still alive here, Marshavecchio. Tried to work it inside. Touched by City, it will be a corner. Who do you want to be in this situation? Corners haven't been overly fabulous by either side. Marshavecchio will be calling for it, I reckon. He's outside the 18-yard box. He wanted to go for the short one, but they won't. Corner taken. Tate Russell couldn't get the header away. Ball's going to drop back for Ryan Lowe. And now it's Marshavecchio on the right. Scott's got possession. Touched off City again. Corner. Corner taken. Marshavecchio back to Hernandez. Russell tapping it forward. Touches off. D'Amato last. So now it will be a throw by Wollongong. Into the box. Scott heads it up. Good touch off City, no. Goal kick for Kenny. Just the one game tomorrow. Between Sydney United, I should say, and Blacktown City. By the way, it was 2-1 to Marconi, defeating St George FC, their first loss of the season. So Penshurst Park, a throw about to be taken by Warby. The 64th minute elapsing. Tatafu working it wide to his left. D'Amato has got it. He's got Jackson behind him. D'Amato cut inside, was beaten. And now Scott's got possession. Scott. Marshavecchio boots it forward, then taken without the ball by Warby. This will be a yellow card too. Matthew will be in the book. His second card of 26. Set piece to be taken 4 yards in. Make it 5 yards in. From the grandstand sideline. Who do you want to be in this situation? Wollongong starting to really get on. Reminder, you can read this game. The match report via Mickey Brock. Working in the corporate suite tonight. Madden working it short. Nice touch. Back to Madden. Now Russell's got it. Russell. A lower ball. Deviates back to Marshavecchio. Turned over the Wolves. Need to defend hard because City are on the counter. Right side of the field. Galtekin's got it. Inside the box. Galtekin. And the shot by Palamitri. It sails wide of the mark. And the young kid's about to get a souvenir. Score remains 0-0. About to see a substitution too for City. It's going to be a double change by the looks of it. So coming on the field will be Tarek Elshan, and I think it's going to be Hugo McAteer. And that's the case. Galtekin goes off. And also going off the field is Rossello. So they're the changes for City. Wollongong on the attack, their own third. A deep ball by Madden. Hernandez is on a run. City have now got possession. Pedersen works it forward. Demorto couldn't get to it. Wollongong quickly going back to Solski. So, 0. So Marshavecchio couldn't get to it. Kenny heads it forward. Goes past here. Scott. And now City with a deep ball that won't find the target. And Hugo McAteer. City coming up in the next couple of weeks. University of New South away at the Village Green. And Blacktown City at home at Penshurst. Followed by United at United. And then Marconi back here. Rockdale to have Rockdale round 12. The next 5 rounds. What a tough opponents. Wollongong their next 5 rounds. Olympic at Macedonia. Then they go to SD and Ernie Smith. Followed by Blacktown at Landon. And then they play Sutherland at Macedonia. And United at United. That's how their next few weeks do sit. So the foul goes the way of Wollongong. McAteer is not happy with it. A challenge against Sebastian Duarte. Wollongong with Madden going short. Ball. Madden was in the road. Ball works it to the far post. Headed away by City. Comes back to Marshavecchio. Marshavecchio was beaten initially by Demorto. Demorto does win out. And touched off Wollongong last. And now it'll be City's throw. Jackson to take it. McAteer. Beaten, but Warby will try to get to it. Does so. Warby plays it for himself. Squares it in. And, well, Pedersen was trying his best to get the corner, but not to be. Just trying to get it to go his way. So, the 70th minute. Nothing doing really for both sides. They've tried, but they haven't really been able to find the chance. Maybe now. McAteer thought he would be offside, so he didn't go for it. And the ball did drop back to keeper Daniel Solski. Kanazumi. Does play off City. So Duarte. Take the throw. Scott. He's on a run again here, McAteer. Well, the challenge by Ball had to be called. And it's going to be City that will have a chance through a penalty. It was always going to be called. You just had the feeling the whole way through. To the chagrin of Wollongong supporters. You be the judge at home of this incident. But I just had this feeling it was always going to be called. Just watching it again. Yeah, it was from behind. It was going to be called. So Jon Pedersen. Chance to get his second goal for the year. Him and Daniel Solski. A battle between the two. Who will win out? Jon Pedersen. Saved by Solski. Well, Daniel Solski with a nice save on the right. Jon Pedersen probably gave away the opportunity for City to take the advantage. Warby back. Monahan Vayaka calling for runners. Tarek Elshan is in the middle too. We can see him. Monahan Vayaka goes to Berry. Monahan Vayaka works it. Again, it'll be Wollongong. Hernandez down the right side. Challenge by City. Gives away a foul. Oh boy, we have got a bit of an interesting few minutes ahead. Bet to see a card too for D'Amoto. So D'Amoto gets given a card. Jackson's on the ground again. Tell you what, Wollongong have had the fouls go their way today. If I'm Wollongong, you'd be saying we need to convert. Got the feeling Jackson might have to come off here. Not the first time tonight he's been treated. Former Southern player too, Matt Jackson. And Matt did spend time at the Bulls last year in their setup. Has now come across to St George City. Jackson is off the field at the moment. They are making a change. City. In will come Roman Kalina. So that's the change. So Jackson off, Kalina is on. So Wollongong playing in their own half at the moment. Bunry Katazumi. Katazumi working it over halfway. One by Duarte. Foul goes his way. Wollongong now. I reckon this is the third time they've taken a set piece around that area. Yamamoto right. Russell wins possession again. Madden trying to find Russell. Tanakelshan again was in and around, but it was actually Monahan Vayaka that stopped everything. But saw Tarek really pushing his troops on as McAteer works it upstream. Ball goes into the 18-yard box. Daniel Solsky makes the save. Wollongong on the attack. Ball comes back. Warby found Kenny. Katafu again has got possession. City with McAteer. He won't get to this. And it will be Daniel Solsky who stops it. Wollongong. The Australian Championship team last year. There's now Hernandez on a run. Stopped by Monahan Vayaka, who's had a big game today. Yamamoto bounces off. St George City. Palos Mitri. There's now Scott across. Yamamura, we'd love to see him go for one. As now it's Duarte again. Clearance by City. Berry has been important too for them today. Flynn Madden working it on. Touch by Marshavecchio. Scott and now Madden. Madden. He's got ball behind him, doesn't use him. He was beaten in the challenge again. Here comes McAteer. Hugo works it in. Daniel Solsky. A big performance today. If he does not concede a goal, I would imagine 3 points might go his way. As now Marshavecchio works it on. Nice touchback by Yamamoto. Marshavecchio. Kanozumi. City on the attack. Tomoto. Palametri. Touched off Wollongong by the looks of it, so it will be a corner. And the ball worked in. Have to go back. Katafu worked it on. Shot by Warby is deflected. Now it's Hugo McAteer. Hugo into the slot. Header high by Pedersen, it looks like. Doesn't quite work. And now again, Daniel Solsky has got it. They're on the attack. City. Berry works it on. Warby. He'll go back to Berry. Berry. Second touch. Elshan. Mitri. Paddle Mitri to Elshan. Elshan. Mitri. Marahan Vayaka. Pedersen. Shots. Misses. Still 0-0. A sub to be made by Wollongong. I think it's going to be 2. And City will also make a change. So Marcus Speedy about to come on as Hernandez and Ball come off. And it's going to be in Beattie and Trachevsky. So that's a change for Wollongong. Changes have been made. Stamos and Folty on the field. Saw initially Colina was warming up. I thought, well, they've said the ground announcers mentioned Folty, which I see. It's now McAteer. Works the ball on. And gone begging there for Stamos. John Stamos doesn't quite work for him. Kleiner is on the field, so they've made another change. Now, I'm only guessing here who the other player would be. New Jackson went off the field before. There's now Scott. Was able to work it on. Madden. Marshavecchio Madden. Inside 8 minutes regulation time. Neither side have been able to get the go-ahead goal. Katafel, Hugo McAteer didn't control, but Duarte couldn't get to it neither. The closing stages. We all know Penshurst Park is a crazy place and crazy finishes happen. We've seen Wollongong win here before in a crazy finish. Monahan Vayaka was trying to go forward. Wollongong's defence is good and deviates off. Monahan Vayaka, who's had a good game too. He's another player that if he doesn't get 3, he gets 2. It's the same as Daniel Solski. You can actually interchange each other in a lot of regards. That's a hard job for our man who's doing the 3-2-1s tonight. Scott, Captain Scott, was able to work it on. Duarte. And yeah, this will be interesting. There is a card to be given here. He's going to the St. George player. He's about to give Palamitri the card. It is starting to escalate a little bit here. Watching the challenge, I do want to have a look at this. There's a lot of conundrum to how this should have been played out. Both players on the ground, and see why City are making a case their way. Yeah, I don't know how you read that, really, to be honest. The card's been given to the City player. You need the judge at home. I suppose, in that case, Duarte was the man that was taken off the ball. They were both going for it, but at the same time, the referee's in a better position. You can read how played better on the pitch. It's one of the big things. We always, I think we all criticise, it doesn't matter what sport it is, we always criticise referees going, oh, they got it wrong. But when you're on field, you've got a better understanding, not just of what happened because you see it on ground level, but you also got a feel of how the game has been on the pitch. And I think that's key to note as the flag is up on Yamamura. I think that's something that probably doesn't get accounted for us grandstand referees who try to go, oh, they got this wrong. Well, most of the time they haven't. You're just going to read how it is on the pitch. It's much different to watching it up here. And that's part of the reason why the video referral systems in every sport, everybody goes, oh, but they got it wrong. But they technically got it right on the black and white of the rule book. And it's hard to... That's where refereeing is such a tough line, where if the black and white rule book, you got to go by it. But at the same time, there's a feeling in the game and what should be called. It's just my opinion about that. It's one of those tricky things about refereeing. It's a job that, I'll tell you what, should be respected more than we give credit for. As Parliamentary works a ball that probably is too much on it, and he's shepherded out by Marcus Beattie. Of course, if you do want to get involved in refereeing, or do your ticket, I actually recommend everybody that is involved in football to do your ticket. Get in contact with Football New South Wales. It's something to do. It's one I definitely have considered and probably will look at doing. Because now they're on the run here. A chance to go past the keeper. It's in. What an incredible goal. Wollongong 1-0. Kenny was caught off his line. It's one that will be remembered. How he was caught off his line, Kenny. I didn't think from that angle there was a goal on, to be brutally honest. I sort of gave up the ghost a little bit on that. Just watching the ball by Madden. And then the run down that right side. It's in the edge of the box. And City are down 1-0. So down 1-0. St George City have Wollongong done enough to win this game? I think you'll find they have. 1-0 the score. Lowe being credited as the goal scorer. Now they're saying it was Beattie. We'll get this confirmed, obviously. There's another effort. Again, goes out wrong side of the netting. Wasn't low. It was initially credited on the broadcast. I thought it was Tate Russell initially. It's hard to tell. The score here, 0-0. We're in injury time. So now Russell. Scott. Scott has a go himself. Save made by Kenny. We're in injury time. Kenny works it up to halfway. Now McAteer. Ball played out by Wollongong. Throw to be taken by Warby. Into the 6-yard box. The save is made by Daniel Solsky. Ball bounces back. Save will be made by Daniel Solsky, so we're waiting on the whistle. Will come shortly. Referee trying to say Solsky to hurry up. He puts it on the ground, but he boots it up to halfway. So 1-0 to Wollongong. 3 minutes elapsed in injury time. He was trying to win it. Plays it out. It's the City. We're looking for at least the draw here. McAteer was calling for it, but they'll go long. We'll come back. And Scott has it. Warby tries to win out. Warby does so. Warby wants to take the throw. They're going to make a sub here, Wollongong. About to come on is King, Dylan King. So now it's worked into the box. And it goes out for a goal kick. Looks like it's going to be a victory to Wollongong. They've tried here. St George City. But the draw is not on. They had a penalty chance earlier before to make it 1-0. Saved by Daniel Solsky. Solski works it to halfway. Warby works it back. Kenny boots it to halfway. City wanting something. Ball is played out by them. Will be a throw for Wollongong. Marcus Beattie to take it. Whistle about to be blown. Beattie wasting time. He allowed Duarte to take it. No taken. Now the ball spills. And here's a shot that ricochets off. And now King couldn't use that effort initially. And now it's Marcus Beattie on the left. Beattie using the corner flag. Played out by City. No, it's touch Wollongong last. Okay. So St George. One last chance for the draw, City. Ball goes up to halfway. Monahan Vayaka. Will he be the man? Now, Monahan Vayaka taken in the box. Will it be called? No. No, it won't be called. Time has expired. Wollongong 1. St George City 0. And Wollongong deserved the victory. Get it away from home. So, victory to the Wollongong Wolves. 1-0. The other games, I should note, the scores were SD 3, Manly 1 at Ernie, Olympic 0, Wanderers 4 at Belmore, Spirit 0, Rockdale 2 at Christie, Apia 2, Sutherland 1 at Lambert, St George FC 1, and Marconi Stallions 2 at Barton. Sydney United and Blacktown play tomorrow. So that's what's happening last night. Sydney FC 0, University of New South Wales 2. Full time, it is 1-0 Wollongong 2 good. We'll catch you soon on NPL action. Football New South Wales on YouTube. We'll see you later where Wollongong 2 good for St George, 1-0 at Penshurst Park.